I am super psyched to welcome our newest sponsor, Kuma Coffee. Kuma Coffee is a 100% independently owned roasting company right here in Seattle since 2008. Kuma is a 5-person team roasting over 100,000 pounds of exclusively high-scoring coffee each year. They source their coffees direct from origin and pay well over fair trade pricing to farmers. This guarantees the highest quality while supporting rural farming communities throughout the global South. And here's the kicker. They just launched an instant coffee. I travel a lot. I've tried tons of instant coffee, and Kuma is the best. It saves my buns in the morning, in the afternoon, and quite often before a show. Find their coffees at kumacoffee.com. That's KUMACOFFEE.com. Hey there, guess what? We'd like to thank our newest sponsor, Kingston Union, home of the Wino, the original Wino skate, punk rock, casual shoe that looks cool as cool can get. Right now, Kingston Union is having a summer slip-on sale. All you have to do is go to KingstonUnionMFG.com and use code SUMMERSLIPS25. That's SUMMERSLIPS25. Head over to KingstonUnionMFG.com and get your slips for the summer now. Tour Stories is supported by the great DistroKid. As you know, DistroKid connects direct to TikTok with exclusive access to your TikTok artist account. What's new at DistroKid? You can do unlimited instant mastering. You can distribute your music videos. And the newest, greatest thing, Bandzoogle, where you can build a website and a store in minutes. And of course, they have an app, which is a delight to post new songs and get paid. Tour Story listeners get 30% off at distrokid.com/VIP/tour stories. DistroKid. Get your music out there.
Sick of the times. How are you? How are you?
Thao, what's happening?
Hi, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm psyched to talk to you. I love this record.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Where are you?
I am at home in the Bay Area.
Which part of it?
Oakland.
All right.
Yeah. And
how's Oakland?
It's good. It's always good. It's it's always an option to wear a turtleneck in the Bay, no matter what time of year it is. So that's what's happening here.
That's a good illustration of the weather. Perfect. Did you grow up in the East Bay?
No, I grew up in Virginia.
Oh.
I grew up in the suburbs of D.C., about 8 miles outside of D.C. in Falls Church, Virginia.
8 miles. That's not far from a bunch of wonderful music that you could access.
One could, if one had been allowed in their youth to leave the house and go into D.C., but I was very much a homebodied kid.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was. And I had to help out at home and my mom's laundromat. So I was working for the family a lot. And I sometimes, very rarely, I could take the metro in with a friend, but never at night.
Right.
So I generally knew there was amazing stuff happening. But I wasn't going to ever get to see it in person.
Right. And how did your relationship with music start?
It started with picking up guitar around 12 years old and starting to teach myself, or getting into learning songs, and then getting into country blues and really wanting to delve into that kind of guitar picking, and then wanting to become a songwriter. And then around high school, playing open mic nights. I couldn't go into DC, but I could drive around the suburbs. And as soon as I got my license, I was going to all these open mic nights in Fairfax and Vienna and all these little towns in Northern Virginia, trying to cut my teeth.
Yeah. And what were you listening to?
At that point, I was listening to this combination of folk blues artists and Appalachian old time, because the people that I was witnessing at these open mic nights, they were pretty cool musicians, and I just loved those kind of guitar chops. But I was also listening to Lucinda Williams. When I was 13, I went to 13 or 14. It was the last Lilith Fair, which I was able to talk about they made a documentary and it's on Hulu now. And I was able to pay tribute and talk about what it was like to see women writing songs and actually performing them as well. And that was the first iteration of that
Mm-hmm.
where I understood you could write your own songs and you could perform them.
Right. And kind of what I'm leading up to is I love your guitar playing, but I really love your, for lack of better words, caveman expression. You're shredding. You are a ripping guitarist.
Thank you.
Where did that come in?
I really appreciate you saying that. That came in, I think it was from the open mic nights. I think
Okay.
that I understood that there were so many preconceived notions about what a young woman, what is it to show up with an acoustic guitar and you're a songwriter, and I wanted my guitar skills to be the first thing that would sort of arrest people, and then I would get their attention, and then I didn't want to just strum, so I needed to be covering a lot of different parts. And that's, with the finger picking and the country blues stuff, so many different facets. You're playing both rhythm and melody, and I think that's definitely where my conviction and my motivation came from.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about the record in a second. I want to stick on guitar because the song Close Up has this wonderful, one thing that I really, like heavy guitar has been one of my favorite things ever. Typically it's like African, sometimes it's Southeast Asian stuff, but that song Close Up on the record, it's like this Saharan riff. God, it's so good.
Thank you for saying that. That's awesome.
It's killer.
That's such a great. So this is such a great reminder that before I was consciously listening to music and before I registered what my influences were, which I typically attribute to growing up in Virginia and old time and bluegrass that I was encountering around high school.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to pay more attention to and pay more homage to is all of the Vietnamese music that I grew up with that was so early on, the part of my soundscape that I almost take it for granted. But all of these sort of zither, all of the pitch bending, that's totally, completely, it's so embedded in me that I forget to talk about it. But I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
And as I got into college, I took all these ethnomusicology classes, that world music set, right? And wasn't it your favorite course?
At one point, my whatever advisor was like, "You have a double major now. You took too many ethnomusicology."
Right. Totally. And I remember that in those courses was the first time I heard Orchestra Baobab. And those guitar tones and that kind of playing is something I've been just, that's like holy grail kind of stuff.
All right. I had to talk about that because I love it. Let's talk about your new record. It's your first record in about 6 years. It's called Show Me, out on Kill Rock Stars on October 30th. Been listening extensively. I've crossed borders. I was in Canada driving to the States. I listened to the record extensively, going both ways. So that was a nice experience.
Thank you for bringing it international before the release date.
Yeah. And to me, a lot of this record is, it is like there's an intensity and there's so much just under the lid's going to pop off the boiling water energy. but it also is a very focused illustration of your approach to songwriting and your use of texture and song arrangement. There's this a lot of dance punk, which is one of my favorite things in the world. There's a trip hop, a little hip hop. The production is pop at times, but it just, I think this energy that is coming from you is the cohesion, and it just makes all these songs fit really well together. And again, it's been a few years since you put out a record. I know you do 1 million things, but where were you when you were approaching these songs?
I was, and thank you so much for that kindness. I really appreciate that. I was wanting to come back to my first love, which is making music and touring it. And it'd been, truly inauspicious times release record. The last one, Temple, came out in 2020. May of 2020, right? Right. But like before we didn't, where we thought maybe we would push to the touring to the fall, it was right. Bad decision. So I felt like I had the things I wanted to say, and I had the kind of reckoning around myself that needed to be documented for my own sake. And I had the need to communicate again. And truly what I wanted was an opportunity for live communion again. I really missed performing, and I understood that that is the thing that I feel I'm best at, and also the thing that I need the most. And but it was coming from a much more honest place. I guess I understood that, like, what I can offer is this space where we can all allow for emotion and joy and sorrow, and all of it needs to be messy and very much primal. And I was in a different place in my life that I was ready to talk about, or at least offer, as we all navigate being alive. This is what I wanted to kind of offer up for discussion and discourse, and it's like how to actually be embodied. And you make all these decisions, and you get to this point where I'm 42 now. You thought just you can't not make decisions, but then if you make them, sometimes you have to pull back, you have to change course, and you have to understand that, right? Like everything is getting me closer to what I believe is my full embodiment and alignment. Or the most we can do is keep trying for that.
Sure. And it is emotionally, it seems a little closer to the bone and personal than your previous records.
Yes. And I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm really glad that I did that. And I'm glad that you noticed, because it's true. I think a lot in the past, because I couldn't be entirely honest with myself, there's no way that my art could be. And the ways that I obfuscated, or I was way more preoccupied with a turn of phrase than what the fuck I was saying.
Right. Gotcha.
And now there's more, right? I'm aligned enough, and I'm centered, and whatever, I'm in my body enough that I can speak more plainly. And the thing, for someone who wants to communicate just in general, like, it's so funny how long it takes you to say what you need to say,
Yeah, right. And I think, and I don't think it's necessary, but I think that there is a little more bluntness versus, as you said, occupying yourself with the turn of phrase that gives it that energy. Again, it's not necessary, but it really, that might be one of the things that really lights this record on fire, I would say.
Thanks, Joe. Wait, can I say one more thing around
Nope.
What you've what you've reminded me of is, and this is actually the first. I haven't spoken much about what this album is, so it's really great to get a chance to kind of start to collect thoughts around it. But it's about wanting and it's about desire. And to this point in my life, there are a lot of reasons why people are afraid to want things, and they can be very old, right? And
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I've understood what I wanted in my life besides music,
Okay.
besides having a career in music. So
The song "Sick of the Times," it's the single that's out now, and it may sound cheap, but it is my favorite song on the record. There's a sentiment to it, again, at least to my ears, where you kind of split this. It feels like it's coming from you personally, but you strike a balance between a singular personal thing, but then you can look at the song as this anthemic group thing, like fucking sick of the times, because most of us are, and where are you coming from on this song? Because I go back, I've listened to it a ton. It's a great fist pumping, driving your car song, and I want to be on the dance floor. Hopefully someday
Awesome.
I will be when it's going. But sometimes I'd listen to it and I'm like, oh, this is very singular and personal. But then there's something about the way it builds. The structure is amazing because the song just ramps and ramps and ramps up. Tell me a little bit about this "Sick of the Times."
Yes. Well, I did. I wanted to write something that could kind of follow the trajectory of a singular perspective that needed to be a part of a collective, and it is me saying, like, I don't want to be as isolated as I've been, and I know and I see it. I write that, like,
Yeah.
I can see it now, and in ways that I could not see it before. But it happens to dovetail and be because of the incredibly befuddling times we're in.
Yeah.
And it's an ode to friendship and movement building. It's me. A lot of it is based on, my friendship with Meryl Garbus of Tune Yards. So we three produced this album together, Nate and Meryl and I. And our friendship, she's a lot of the times the person I call, especially within music, where we're trying to figure out how can we use music to be more helpful and useful. Again, it's like, what can we offer this moment? And as just people, but also as people who make music with whatever platforms we have or have had or whatever, and it's just this sense of helplessness and desperation. But then also, I always tell her, we can't, as long as we don't quit at the same time, we're okay. We just need one of us to just have the fire and the vision for the other one, right? And we switch off all the time. And in movement building, in all the organizers that I've had so much admiration for, that I know in San Francisco through different organizations I've been a part of, I took a lot of, and I do think we all benefit so much and take such great solace in the vision and the resilience of organizers who are just like, we keep it small and we keep it moving. And this is what other choice do we have? And Sick of the Times is very much, it's both those things. I'm glad you felt them on both those levels, because I don't think that they can, nor should they be separate.
Right.
And I also wanted it as to be able to, like, scream sick of the times or just spit it out of the side of your mouth because you're so goddamn sick of everything, right? But that it's just a release, and it's not it's not that you're tapping out, right? I don't want to, it's not enough to just say that we are whatever we are, but it's just an effort at sustainability to kind of keep coming back.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I would say, I don't know if you're worried or not, but no one's going to tap out due to this song. They're tapping in.
I'm so happy to hear that.
All right, I'd like to play a little bit. Is that cool?
Yeah, of course.
All right, here we go.
Impossible to save me. I've been catching all of the symptoms lately. That type of look in your eyes is far away. I'll pick you up, I'll bring you back to the bay. Impossible to save me. I've been catching all of the symptoms lately. I got to go and see you. I got to show I need you. I got to go and see you. I got to show I need you. Sick of the times, what to do. Sick of the times. Sick of the times, what to do. Sick of the times, how are you? When I despair, can't seem to see nor find you. But there you are, the sun was just behind you. Remember when my fear would rise and wreck me? I call you up, you come collect me. Whenever I SOS, if ever I SOS. When I'm meant to be alone, baby, I can see it now. Forgive me for the love and time I wasted. I did not know how, but honey, I'm here now.
Wonderful tune.
Thank you.
I really want to see you play it because I want to see myself dance, but I want to see what
Yeah.
everyone else does, especially that. I think it's like a pre-chorus. We don't need to dissect your song, but it just ramps up to such intense energy. It's a battle song.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. You know, we have this music video where we did get dancers in, and there's all this choreography in it. So yes, it was so cool to be a part of, to concertedly make a thing that is about release, about physical release.
Yeah.
You know?
So tell me a little bit about what these songs look like when you went into the studio. How much writing did you do in the studio? It's fun and hard to imagine that you came in with an acoustic guitar and were like, here's Sick of the Times.
Right?
Ready?
Yeah. No, you know, this album was such a relief in the way I made it, because it was a lot more collaborative and the pressure was off in all these different ways that I didn't know you could. There was just there was much more joy and there was much more time. And when I was making it, I hadn't figured out who. We didn't know if there would be a label, where the home would be. So I made it with just way more time and freedom than I have in the past. And then when it was completely done, then we shopped it around. And I'm so glad to be back with Co-Rockstars. But the album, right, so some of it, there are songs that are co-written with Nate Brenner of Tune Yards.
Mm-hmm.
And Sick of the Times is one, and Fossils, there's a few others. Because Sick of the Times, I wrote that hook, that on a DFAM, that main synth hook on a DFAM, and I sent it to Nate, and then he built so much of it. And then I would write. I wrote the vocal melodies and the lyrics to it, and then so there are some songs where that was the process. There are others where they were written on piano or guitar, going in the studio, showing up in a more traditional way, and then having the band, and we're just demoing,
Yeah.
It ran the gamut.
And it's interesting to me when you said you had a lot of time. If I had to guess, you had 2 weeks and you had to do this because, again, back to the energy, but it just has this urgency to it. But everyone works differently.
That's so cool. Well, part of that is I do think with time you can revisit something. You can
Right.
listen to it and understand that
I'm
it's
not
not
patient
conveying, or it's not conveying the urgency I wanted to convey in a
Yeah.
way, because the idea wasn't quite there, and often in the past I've not been able to revisit, and so then the thing that you had there as placeholder, or there's so many different things to consider, right? That if you don't have enough time, the things that you meant as placeholder only they stay, and then you can never really listen to that song again or whatever. It irks you every time you put it on, And so
Right.
I was trying to avoid that. And but there are other things where you have time to revisit only to say that's exactly what it is. We don't need to do anymore. And that, for Sick of the Times, that was definitely it. We did very little, like building the intensity. That took a long time, figuring out where the vocals would be, what lines are coming in, and all that stuff is to make sure it just keeps going. That actually did take a few tries.
Right. I just fear overthinkings of things.
Oh, me too.
I fear overthinking winds up yielding nothing and just a waste of time.
Yeah.
But I also have to remind myself that you have to think about stuff sometimes. You can't just
Right.
go from the gut always.
Right. And also to remove the idea that, and I don't know how to do this, but what is a waste of time and what isn't.
Sure.
And even being like I've stressed myself out so much about whether or not I'm wasting time that wastes its own time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's endless.
Have you played these songs yet, or do you have a plan or an instrumentation for any of these?
We have not. The first release week will be the first time that we're playing. We have a KEXP session the day before the album release. We've played some. I've played Enemy, Show Me, Fossils. But we've not played Sick of the Times live yet, and that's something. As I'm figuring out personnel, I'm trying to work out this thing where maybe I have an East Coast band and a West Coast band. Just honestly, financials,
Of course.
So to figure out, I'm still building those bands, and then I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous because I want it to sonically be what it needs to be.
Right.
I'm excited though. Do you ever think mostly about when we think about I wonder if you can just hear it in my voice where I'm tired. I'm like, I'm residually tired from decades of touring.
Yeah.
So the idea of it, yes, I love, like the execution.
I can see you already seeing yourself in the van.
Right.
Opening doors, opening bags, opening doors, unzipping bags, opening doors, opening guitar cases. I was
Closing
explaining
them,
that to my
yeah.
dad recently. I was like, how is your touring? How do you deal with endurance? And I said, my latest philosophy is open as few doors and unzip as few bags as possible.
Totally.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means to you. That's I love that. I love that. It's either that or turn everything into like a midline stability exercise.
Yeah. And you do have shows booked on East Coast and West Coast?
We do. There's the week of release, we're kind of gonna just do some in-stores and radio stuff, and then KXP, and then first week of November into second week will be both just San Francisco and LA, and then New York and some other shows in the Northeast,
All
mostly
right.
for press stuff, and
Yeah.
just try, but the headlining tour isn't until March and April 27.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and then hopefully, goes for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I live in Seattle. I'm going to try to sneak into the
excellent.
KEXP. I think I can do that. I'm going to
Totally, you can do that.
try. I'm going to try.
Oh, let me know if you want to do some double drum stuff.
Oh my God, you don't have to. I do.
What?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do it.
Yeah. I'm down.
Awesome. Okay, October 29th.
Okay.
Load-ins at 9.
Load-ins at 9 a.m., I hope.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
Awesome.
Before I let you go, can you tell me a little bit about this organization you work with, Working Families Party?
Absolutely. I'm a fan of theirs. It's a grassroots political party that I started hearing more about in the last few years in the Bay Area, just with local candidates being endorsed by this third party. And I just so appreciate, when I was writing Sick of the Times, part of the energy I was getting was imagining, what if I could offer this song to Working Families Party so that their candidates, like at rallies, whatever it could be, to help emotionally activate and be a part of a groundswell, which they work all over the country, and they identify candidates who, they're a multiracial working class grassroots political party. And the candidates they identify and endorse and help get elected are people from the community, people who understand that there just has to be such seismic change, but that it happens at very local levels. And I look to them for any kind of hope, the hope that's grounded in action. Like they inspire me and keep me motivated to be like, right, well, this is not just
Hope.
devastating.
Yeah.
and it's not just pie in the sky stuff. It's like very gritty, granular action that's being taken. And they helped get Mamdani elected. There's and people in Seattle, and I can just feel there's this momentum, and it's this option that we can look towards when we're so disgusted with what's happening. And so a friend of mine worked with them and helped sort of steward this collaboration and connection wherein we'll do dollar add-ons to help donate to the cause. And one of the dancers in the music video is wearing a Working Families Party jersey. That's what I wear when I go to rallies and protests and things. And I wanted to, this is the first more direct political song that I've written, and I wanted that to be paired with a true political effort.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to spread the word.
Thank you.
All right. When you get traveling, travel safe. I'll see you in Seattle at 9 a.m. October
All right.
29th.
I love it.
Yeah. Just somehow let me know what songs I need to know.
Absolutely. Let us know your coffee order.
Okay.
And safe travels to you as well.
Thank you very much. Great talking
All
to you.
right. So
And-
great to talk to you.
All right.
Thanks,
Congrats
Joe.
on this record.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Full embrace, kiss that face. Don't just handshake the body who loves you. Full embrace, kiss that face. Don't just handshake the body who loves you. 'Cause after we all gone, they'll say we got it all wrong. Fossils tense with protection. and the light crawls. I don't want this city without you. And when the light falls and the night crawls, I don't want this city without you. How do I love you desperately till there's nothing left to leave? How can I love you desperately so there's nothing left to leave? Full embrace, kiss that face. Don't just handshake the body who loves you. And when the night falls and the light crawls, I don't want this city without you. How do I love you desperately till there's nothing left to leave? How can I love you desperately so there's nothing left to leave? And after